Yo, welcome to another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your man Trouble's in the building.
And your man Jones.
On AC, we talking to him on Facebook. We waiting, but he's still not really.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. I mean, Trouble's been doing podcasts with other people in other places, which ain't a bad thing. Always keeping the site fresh, keeping the ideas fresh, letting other people put their voice to it besides just hearing me, him, AC, and some other people that are putting their little voices, not little, but putting their voices to it and giving different perspectives, which is always good because everybody does not think alike.
And y'all been busy as fuck.
Yeah. Everybody been busy. But on another note, today is my birthday.
Happy birthday, Jones.
That is right. So we're going to sing the black birthday song. No, we're not. No, we're not doing that.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I don't know.
That's good. You good. Don't do no more. Because somebody going to comment on the podcast just to blast your ass for doing that. Like, don't ever do that again.
I'm all off key.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. I'm going to give a shout out to Crown Royal.
As always.
Drink responsibly, drink safely. Call somebody you can trust. And I know normally we always say call a Uber, call a Lyft, and things of that nature.
Well, I'm gonna give Uber a little shout out, only because they did an update. So now when you call an Uber, you get a picture of your driver, the car, and a license plate. You know what car you're getting into. You know what the person looks like. They're doing a little bit better background checks on these individuals now. So that stigma of calling an Uber, because they had a little bumpy road there for a minute. Most out there doing some crazy stuff, but they're getting better.
Yeah, so you really hit it on the nail. What I was trying to say is because it's like, especially in the military, we always say just call a taxi and you be good. But people kind of fail to realize it's like, these taxi drivers, they're individuals. Yeah, they uphold their job and their services to take you from point A to point B, and you pay them. But you do have some creepy ass taxi drivers, Uber drivers, Lyft drivers.
Yeah, very creepy.
So it's like, okay, yeah, the whole crew may be gone and you may call a taxi or Uber or Lyft to take you home, but I feel as though somebody still should have stayed back with you to make sure you was actually good.
As much as I hate this term, the Army uses it a lot, battle buddy. That means if you go out with this person, you come back with this person, you don't leave your battle buddy alone.
Yeah.
And I don't care if they about to hook up or whatever the case may be. You might have just stand outside the door like, hey, I'm just going to stand here and wait. Because you can't, if you leave them alone and something happens, because you're in the military, you're going to be held liable. They're going to hold you responsible for something happened to your battle buddy, whether it's a male and or female. And because the military is all genders now, if something happens to anybody, if you were supposed to be with them and that's your battle buddy and you did not follow that person throughout the night or the weekend or whatever the case may be, and something happens to them, they're going to hold your feet to the fire because you didn't follow what basically is a direct order. We look out for each other. That's how we maintain the services. If we just let people go out and do whatever the hell they want to and come back whenever the hell they feel like it, there would be no military. That's what you do in civilian life. The military got rules.
True. The military life does hold a higher level of accountability than it does in the civilian community, because it's like, civilian community, but all right, I see you. As soon as work shift in, 4:30 in, or whatever time you get off work is, all right.
Yeah, I mean, and
military hold formations.
When the military feels like they're losing control, what they do is they start holding more formations, having more working parties, having more things that require the soldier, the sailor, the Marine, the airman to be where they need them to be at in order to do the job that they need them to do without seeming like they're infringing on their freedoms.
Yeah.
Because technically you have none in the military. They could keep you there as long as they want to. Give you 4 hours of sleep and make you come back if they wanted to. But in order to have some kind of life, they loosen the reins a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
But the overall point of that is to drink responsibly.
Right.
Have a plan.
Always. And it don't seem like having a plan would be a big deal on Friday night at 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock when you're about to go out until it's 2 o'clock in the morning and you done spent all your money and you got to get back to where you came from.
Stranded.
And you in some strange town around a whole bunch of people that you don't know, and then you be like, damn. Because failure to plan is planning to fail. That's an old saying.
Yeah.
And it is very, very true.
Is it the 7 P's? Proper.
Yeah. Proper prior planning prevents piss poor performance.
I don't know how many P's is that, but
that's a lot of P's.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Yeah. And we ain't been drinking.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, overall, Uber, somebody, yeah, don't be the one drinking and getting caught drinking and driving, because what, at minimum is what, 10 grand?
By the time you pay a lawyer, your insurance go up, you get your car out of impound, get out of jail, all of the stuff that's gonna happen. If you're a civilian. If you're in the military, it's gonna cost you close to 20, because they're taking some money from you, and they're gonna put you on restriction, and they're gonna do some other stuff, and they might end up kicking you out. So you might end up in the long run losing way more money than just 10 grand.
Yeah.
That 10 grand thing is for civilians.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Right. Think about it. 10 grand, that's a lawyer. Lawyer gonna cost you about $5. Your insurance gonna go up probably about $175 more dollars a month, because you gotta get DUI, high risk insurance. Some other shit gonna happen. You know, it's a whole lot. You might lose your job. It's a whole bunch of stuff that can happen when you get a DUI. Yeah. Can't get to work. You know, no job.
Yeah, it's a lot.
There's a lot of follow-on consequences to a DUI, just other than getting a DUI. That's the first part. Well, actually, the first part is you taking a drink and driving.
Yeah, off a $7 shot.
Right.
Yeah. Damn, that's crazy. But
because tonight we getting fucked up. No, don't go out with that attitude. Go out to have fun, without getting so inebriated that you shouldn't be drinking and driving. But if your designated driver gets drunk, pick better friends.
True.
That's the person that's supposed to be there to look out for you. So that's where Lyft, Uber, taxis, all that stuff comes into play. So if you're gonna go out and drink, have a plan. More importantly, have a backup plan.
Yeah.
Because how many times have you gone out with your friends and it didn't plan out the way you thought it was?
On the side, just heated.
Standing outside the club like, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get home. And I spent my last $20 trying to buy this girl a drink, and what?
Oh, that ain't never happened to me, but yeah.
Yeah, but you gotta think about this back in the day. Young me, Jacksonville, North Carolina. Ding, ding, dum, dum, you know. But you live and learn.
Yeah, you do.
And you gotta remember, back in the day, we weren't making as much money as y'all made as Lance Corporals, PFCs, you know, all that stuff. Y'all make more money than we made back then.
True.
So.
Yeah, damn. That's crazy. But overall, if you're gonna do that, make sure you have a plan. Call, like we said, Lyft, Uber, your NTO, whoever. Make sure you make it home safe, because it's your life. And, you know, speaking of the young you, like you said earlier, it is your B-Day. This is actually your B-Day.
Yeah.
9-9. The 9-9.
Get it for the 9-9 and the 2000.
I know when 2000 hit. Hold on. Was that song out? No, back
Back
that
that ass up? I don't know.
Yeah.
Hit it for the 9-9 and the 2. And you got to think, when 99 was here, my birthday was 9999.
Yeah. Damn. So you the older you now, more wiser.
Like by 14 hours, I'm older. Some shit.
More wiser, more intelligent, more.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully. As you age, you're supposed to become wiser, become calmer, and in addition to that, impart your knowledge and be more at peace with stuff. Stuff shouldn't upset you as much, but then also share your knowledge with people. Yeah. Like, if you're on this earth right now, living your life, living your best life, like Lil Duval say, and you're not sharing what you've learned with other people, then what are you really doing? Yeah,
and I discussed this with Rich B Wednesday, actually, whatnot. And I was like, friends, it could be a loose word, loosely word. And what I mean by that, I use y'all as an example, right? I was like, Rich B, I was like, okay, one band, one sound. Y'all a tight group.
Right.
It's hard to get in, and if you get out, it's no point. Like,
if you get out, then you might as well just go ahead and just stay in the house all the time.
Yeah. But I was like, true, genuine friends share knowledge regardless.
Right.
Whatever the fact. And I was like, well, Rich B, I was like, I don't know if you're looking into buying a house, but I'm like, you have about 3 to 4 people that's knowledgeable about buying houses. If if say if Jones was in the stock market he flipping 3,000 every week. If he's not sharing that information with you,
Is he really your friend?
is he really your friend? Or if y'all have females, is she really your friend in the crew? Like, no,
Right.
it's one thing to, do trips. That's cool and all. Yeah, y'all breaking bread with each other. Y'all turning up. But, like, are your friends genuinely stimulating your mind to think forward?
Right.
Like, they only see you in the partying light, then, like, they're not your friends.
If your friends, the people that call themselves your friends, have not seen you at your weakest and then help you build yourself back up to your strongest, they're not really your friends. Because most people, and this is what I hate about social media so much, give an opinion on a snippet of information, a small part of a whole story. Somebody will post a little bit of something. I hate it when people do blah, 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 blah. And they'll be like, yeah, you know what? I hate that too. But what's the rest of it? Why did person do A, B, C, and D? You only told the back end of it.
Yeah.
So social media gives you a small part of a story, and then everybody jumps on the bandwagon and runs with it.
Yeah.
Instead of finding out all the facts and then saying, okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying about not liking the fact that this person did this, but you got to look at it from the other perspective of what did you or whomever do to cause that person to react that way.
Yeah. I got a question for you. You said, one thing about getting older is kind of passing that knowledge down. And I think that's why, man, you click so much, because I'm always intrigued about just getting knowledge. And I think sometimes you probably get knowledge from me as well.
Oh, definitely.
Why do you think, I'm not saying that all, I'm not trying to generalize all, but why do you think, like, older OGs, I consider you an OG, why you don't think they pass down information?
Well, I'll say this. When I know I use the Marine Corps as an example. When I was in the Marine Corps, we used to have master guns that knew everything. Because they knew everything, they were valuable. Because they know it. If they know everything and you know snippets and bits, you got to remember this now before the internet and Google and all this shit. You couldn't search all this stuff and be like, oh, master guns, it go like this now. Mm-hmm. Back in the day, you had to read a pub. And a lot of times pubs didn't get updated like they do now electronically. Somebody had to sit down on a computer or a typewriter and type that shit out and then update it. So it took time. So if there was a person with all the knowledge, because of the rank and the ability to sit back and read all the stuff, they felt powerful and they had all the power at that particular rank. And that's an example. And it might not be the best example, but a lot of people feel that way. If I know something that you don't know, I got power over you. That was the old way of thinking. Now with the internet, if you know something that I don't know, it's my fault because I can go to the internet and find out. I walk around with a smartphone in my pocket. If I don't take my smartphone and be like, hey, Siri, tell me such and such and so-and-so. Look, and she just beat.
She said, of course.
So even without the pubs and the manuals and all that stuff being up to date, you can still find out what you need to find out just by going on the internet. Back in the day, you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of those things were kept at a higher level. And I hate to say it, it seems stupid, but unless you were doing like a maintenance thing where you had to actually be working on something, and certain MOSs, they keep those things at higher levels because they don't want the junior troops to know. They want them to stay in there. They want to progress them along by rank instead of progressing them along, giving them as much knowledge as they can and letting them use that knowledge to the best of their ability. Yeah. I'll progress you along as a lance corporal, as a corporal, as a sergeant, as a staff sergeant. In the new Marine Corps, what happens when you pick up staff sergeant? They expect you to know the gunny's job, right? Yeah. Most people don't. You got to educate yourself nowadays. But most older Marines, most OGs, whatever you want to call them, people that knew what you didn't know, kept it because it gave them power. That was the only reason why they
made them more valuable.
Right.
But it's not like in the military. Like, for corporate jobs, it's like, shit, well, if two of y'all know it, if two of y'all know it, and hold on, I'm trying to say, if two of y'all know it, no, if one of y'all know it, okay, yeah, you're more valuable, right? Right. But if it's like, okay, your boss knows it, and then two people under him know it, like, okay, one of y'all got to go, like, in the corporate community, right?
Not necessarily, because you got to remember, there's always two sides to a coin. Okay. You got the person that's an asshole all the time, every day, no matter what. You come to work in the morning, you park your car, you're like, man, I hope this motherfucker ain't come to work today because I don't feel like dealing with his ass. Or I don't feel like dealing with her ass. Mm-hmm. Then you got the other person that's not necessarily an asshole, but he a people person. He can get people to do more based off of his or her personality.
Got it.
You need people like that in the corporate world as well, because in the private sector where people own the company with their name on the door, you got to find a way to motivate people. It's almost like being a football coach or a baseball coach or a basketball coach. If you can't get the best out of your best players, then why are you there?
Yeah.
There's no point for it. It's the same thing in the military. If you can't get the best out of your soldier or your sailor or your airman or your marine when you really need it, why are you in that position of authority?
Yeah.
Because you can't threaten nobody to be better. They got to want to be better for themselves.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's crazy. Well, I appreciate you for passing the knowledge that you do pass, because it's very helpful, because I always believe in learning from the mistakes of others, and
just growing from listening to you, AC, Ford, what was that young Marine that he went to recruiting duty? Albury.
That motherfucker hated life.
Oh, I know he hated life. It's recruiting duty, dog. I could have told him that.
He in
anyway,
fucking Queens.
I could have told him that shit.
Yeah.
But listening to Albury, listening to all these Marines talk about how you go about being better as far as financially, that shit was never shared with us as young Marines when I first came in the Marine Corps. I'm learning about that shit later on. Now, am I using it? Yes, because it only makes sense to use information that you got that can make you better, make you wholly better, like financially, spiritually, whatever the case may be. If you're not using that information, then what's the point?
Yeah, and before we go on to our topic of the general, I want to talk about, this kind of reiterates what the whole podcast is about. And it's going to go into the whole Nike situation when we talk about it as well. It's like this podcast is not to, by any chance, disrespect the military, disrespect the DOD at any way, but it's to enhance and to let people learn and understand. Like, the military is constantly changing.
Right.
It is, especially with technology. So it's like, it's just certain things to where, like, you may have an order that may be so old, but it applies to the younger generation. What I mean by that is, like, okay, you can have a part. Some people do not realize that African-American males can have parts.
Right.
They just think, if you're Caucasian, Hispanic, Asian descent, you have a different texture of hair, you can have a part. No, it's cut, clip to shave, 4F, place no further than a corner of your eye. You can have one part.
Right.
You can have a part in your head. And it's like, you can have that with clippers.
Right.
So, like, with the podcast is for us, for the military to, in the sense to have a voice, because I feel as though we don't have a voice.
Right. And the thing with that is, you see the way you just rattled that off?
Yeah.
Somebody gonna listen to this podcast and go be like, where the fuck you find that at? They're gonna try to find that order, because there's an order on it.
Yeah.
Don't think that we just making this stuff up out of pulling it out of the sky. If he just rattled that order off, because it's called a uniform order. They tell you how you must wear your uniform, how you can have your hair cut, how you can have your hair pinned as a female, what lipstick you can wear, how your nails gotta look. All these things they tell you in the uniform order. So just because you don't do it doesn't mean you can't do it. Sometimes you just gotta, again, educate yourself on what the rules are.
And for my older OGs, so maybe the staff sons, gunnies from E6 and above, just because you haven't seen it in your career doesn't
mean it's not allowed.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it's not allowed. Doesn't mean it's not wrong. Like, I feel as though because it was just a female PME that was going on base or whatnot, and it was just certain things that the higher enlisted was saying, but if you actually read the order, it can be done.
The problem with any military structure, any military order, any military anything is interpretation. If you try to add your own interpretation to it, you automatically violate the order. That ain't what the order say. That's your interpretation of the order.
Perception, right? Interpretation, right. Your own perception.
Right.
Perception. First
I
three
don't
words
like
personal.
it, so because I don't like it, I don't want you to be able to do it. But if the order says I can, all you can do at that point is sit your ass down.
Exactly.
And for those that don't know, professional PME is professional military education.
Yeah, and I feel as though sometimes, especially when it comes to, we'll just say the minority, so the African American community, it's like certain orders. Of course, we know that when it comes to Marine Corps orders, some as far as grooming orders, that shit wasn't made for us.
Oh no, just like the weight standards wasn't made for us or Hispanics. Yeah. I mean, let's just be honest. Who in the fuck gonna be 5'9" and 169 pounds as a grown ass man? Who?
Yeah.
You know, that shit not made for us. That was made for, and by the way, those are World War II weight standards.
Correct.
So we talking about some shit that's 80 years old.
Yeah.
You know.
But when I was going with this, it's like, yo, you know, for the higher enlisted, they'd be like, oh no, you can't do that because I haven't seen it before. All you really doing is not showing progress or not trying to create progress within our community.
You are literally spinning your tires in the mud.
Yeah.
I like it this way, and this way I want to keep it.
Yeah. And it's like, no, shit, orders change. We can't do this. It may be a little bit, but we can't do this. Like, yeah. So I could go on and on about orders, but yeah, it's just been crazy. Shout out to Jones for his B-Day. Do you have anything planned?
Oh no, me and the fam gonna go to dinner later on tonight. You know, the wifey had drill this weekend up in Warner Robins, so you know I gotta wait for her to get back.
Get any new artillery? No, you John Wick.
Yeah, I don't like to put my business in the street like that. Yeah. You know, I don't want nobody knocking on my door trying to take my guns. Nah. So but I'm getting a few new things. I got them coming down the pike. Oh, don't worry. Before you get out of here, you'll see them.
Okay. All right. So like I said, I do want to cater to the military. So I do want to say rest in peace to General Frank E. Peterson. He was the first black general in the Marines. He died at 83.
Yeah, and more importantly than that, this dude was a trailblazer. Because you gotta remember, he came in the Marine Corps. I'm reading this. I read his book, by the way. It was a long time ago, so I can't even begin to quote any of the book. But he grew up in St. Croix, the Virgin Islands. And then his family's from St. Croix, the Virgin Islands. They were plantation farmers. He grew up in Topeka, Kansas. He went to school when they were still segregated. So you got to think about this now. We're talking about 1940s, 50s, somewhere around there when he went to school. He was just an innovator. In the 1950s, only 2 years after President Harry S. Truman desegregated the armed forces, he enlisted in the Navy. The Marines had begun to admitting blacks during World War II, but mostly as longshoremen, laborers, and stewards. In 1951, he recalls the Marine Corps had only 3 black officers.
What is a longshoreman? Like,
people that work on the docks and load ships and shit like that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So you're talking, this 1951. He said in 1951, the Marine Corps had only 3 black officers.
Damn.
But in 1952, Mr. Peterson, by then a Marine, was commissioned as a second lieutenant and the Marines' first black aviator. In 1952.
And the crazy part, he died. I never heard any Marine Corps knowledge about him at all.
What have I told you about the Marine Corps, man? And I was in it for 20 years. This ain't for us. It's for them. This was a one branch of service. So they was like, hey, we always going to be in control.
Yeah.
When I say that we always going to be, I'm talking about white folks. Now, you can get mad at me for saying it, but it's the truth. The Marine Corps was the last branch of service to desegregate. And they didn't do it until the president made them do it. So don't ever get it twisted and think that I got some kind of slight against the Marine Corps. I was a Marine for 20 years, active duty. I got Marine friends that was in 20 plus years, active duty. I got young Marines that are in right now, active duty, and officers. And the Marine Corps was not built for anybody but white individuals. It was never meant for African Americans, Hispanics, Pacific Islanders, Asians, any of that to come into the Marine Corps. Hell, they used wind talkers in World War II and treated them like shit, and they helped them win the war.
Yeah, I was about to say they wanted the help.
Without them, we probably would have lost. Let's be honest. Granted, technology was getting a little bit better. We was kicking the shit out of Japan, and I hate to say it that way, but as an American, I feel some kind of way when you sneak attack me. It's like somebody sucker punching you in the club.
Bitch.
Right. You gotta get them back.
Yeah.
You gotta get them back. I think that's jacked up that you would. And granted, it was a different time, but when you use a person for their knowledge and you don't acknowledge it till 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90 years later, what are you saying about what you did? Because all the people that did it, gone.
Yeah.
For the most part.
The Navajo wind talkers.
Right.
For those that don't know. But
I mean, it might be one left. Yeah. If that, I think the last one might have just passed away. But you got to think about the significance of them doing what they did because the code was never broken. The code was never broken. They used the Navajo language as a code, and it never was broken during a war. once they started using it.
Yeah.
So that helped us win the war.
How significant was that? Like, I'm
And
not.
nobody's gonna give up. You know what? Without it, we would have lost. But you got to think about. We broke their code, and it helped us advance in the war.
Yeah.
They couldn't break our code, so they couldn't know what we was doing.
Because we were a big melting pot at that point, right? So it was like Indians. Well, not Indians. Well, Native Americans.
They was like, oh yeah, they do exist. You know, like the light bulb went off. Oh yeah, what about them? You know, everybody played their part in World War II. Everybody played a part.
A mixture of races.
No one race could have done it alone.
Correct.
Men, women, even kids was collecting cans and shit for more metal. So they could have metal to build planes and ships and boats and whatever the hell they was building.
Damn.
All of that. Everybody played a part. People was buying war bonds. Without everybody, this country is made up of everybody. Without
a mixture melting pot.
Without everybody participating, you can't have it. And this Mr. Peterson is just one of those individuals that happen to be in this country. He flew 350 combat missions during two tours in Korea and Vietnam. Safely bailed out after his F-4 Phantom was shot down in 1968 and became the first of his race in the Corps to command a fighter squadron, the famous Black Knights.
Oh, I wonder if he named them.
They gave him the Black Knights.
Yeah. Shout out to General Peterson.
You know, and the thing is this. We get Marine Corps history at boot camp. And don't get me wrong, it's a snippet. They give you a piece, a smidgen of the whole history. Because there's no way you could squeeze 240-something years into a week. But for those people that really, like, do it, come on. We learn about Tun Tavern. Who gives a flying monkey's ass about Tun Tavern? Yeah. Nobody. They don't even promote that part of the Marine Corps no more. They don't want you to drink like that no more. So how about you give some history about some shit that relates to the people that's going into the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
The Hispanics, the blacks, the whites. I mean, we got every kind of race, every kind of person that comes in. Give them all credit. The Marine Corps is not one solitary individual. It's all of us. And without all of us, we can't succeed. And that's all branches of service. You know, you shouldn't award somebody a medal or honor or a silver star posthumously unless you giving it to them posthumously this decade. Not like 50 years later. Oh yeah, by the way, he did shit 50 years ago. We're gonna give him the award now. Really?
Yeah.
What the hell? His whole family damn near dead. What is it gonna do for him?
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just making. I don't mean to go off on a tangent, but I mean some of the shit we do. When I say we, I mean the government as a whole, the military government. It's just jack the hell up. You ask people
how to acknowledge people.
You ask people to sacrifice a lot, and then you don't want to acknowledge them, or you want to make them jump through hoops for the acknowledgement. Don't nobody want. I don't give a shit. I never gave a shit about a ribbon, a medal, none of that bullshit. I joined the Marine Corps to do a job and serve my country. That's it. If I got something, I got it. If I didn't, I didn't. And that's how most people's attitude is. But if they do something that's outstanding, put them up in front of their damn troops or in front of their peers. Let them be recognized. Don't wait till they damn gone and dead and fucking done turn to dust.
Yeah.
To be like, oh yeah, by the way, he did this good shit.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a passing thought. You should treat everybody fair and equal, which we know don't happen.
Yeah. EO. So he did 38 years in the Corps. He retired as a 3-star general. He was a senior ranking aviator in the Marine Corps and the Navy commander of the Combat Development Command in Quantico, and a special assistant to the chief of staff. He was awarded Distinguished Service Medal. So,
I mean, they try.
Okay. That's crazy though. Like it really is. Let's look around.
I mean, if you think about it, he is not the last, but he was the first, and that should put him somewhere on a damn heritage poster. That should put him on a picture in the halls of the Pentagon. Something. It should get him something.
I wonder if he's I wonder if his pictures is or either his pictures or his history is well communicated.
Oh, he in a history book somewhere.
Communicated within the aviator community. You know what I'm saying?
In the Marine Corps aviator community, it has to be. He was the first one.
Yeah.
You can't pass that by. You can't be like, oh yeah, by the way, he did this. Okay, on to the next thing.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta give him some kind of credit. Over 350 flights in combat. I mean, come on.
especially during those times. Like
Right.
them planes then versus them planes now. It ain't.
Right. You know, they ain't have all that technology. You was flying a plane for real back then.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh,
so,
you flying.
Yeah. Oh, it's beyond me. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Damn, 83. I would have loved to talk to him and have a podcast with him to actually have him talk and just ask them questions.
I mean, it's
because I don't edit nothing, so
right. It's one of the things that, and they're doing it now with World War II vets all over the world, not just here but everywhere, because they dying so fast. They say anywhere between 500 and 700 die a day, not a week, a day. Because you gotta remember, there's a lot of people in World War II.
Yeah.
Soon there ain't gonna be nothing left. If you don't get the verbal history from their mouth on recorded devices, you're not gonna have it. I mean, we know some stuff, but it's hard to say, well, I wonder how he felt. You don't know how he felt. You ain't never talked to him. You got a perspective from a broader view.
And you wrote it within your own perspective to kind of make it flow well. And and somebody, I read something on line one day, and it said the person that wins the war writes the history. Oh.
So if you win, you get to write the history however you want to.
True.
The only difference is we as America after World War II did not conquer. We won the war, but we didn't try to take over Japan. We didn't by the way, y'all lost. Now we own this shit. We did Americanize it a little bit for a little while, but after so many years, we gave it back to them and let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
So, this ain't like back in 1700s when you went to war with a motherfucker and you beat their ass. Now all this shit is mine.
Yeah.
No, we ain't doing that no more.
Crazy.
So,
you want to go to the next topic at hand?
Definitely.
So, next topic at hand is this whole Nike situation. And, for those that don't know, Colin Kaepernick is the face of Nike right now. What is his quote?
Don't start me the line.
Yeah, so a lot of people would look up his quote, but a lot of people...
I got it right here.
You got it.
Let this pull up. Come on, man. Okay. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything.
Yeah, I mean, so that is a very, very deep quote, and a lot of people, they are upset. They upset. They goddamn taking their Nike apparel that they brought and tearing it up.
Cutting the swooshes out, burning. One dude burned his shoes with them still on his feet. Yeah. I don't mean to start laughing, but you got to be about the dumbest motherfucker on earth to do that shit. You mad at Nike. Understand this, people. Even if you bought the Nike Mall Walker ones,
he said Mall Walker one.
You still paid for them with your money. You still gave Nike your money, whatever it was, $29.95, $49.95, $89.95, $150, $20, $300, whatever you gave Nike, you gave it to them. They have it now. You burn your shoes. Do you think Nike was like, oh shit, they burning our stuff? That ain't what they said.
Nigga, it's your stuff now.
Yeah, they probably was like, you know what? There's some stupid people burning stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, you'll never get another one of my dimes. Y'all do realize that Nike's just not worn in America, right? Like, it ain't just worn in whatever small-ass podunk town you from. It's worn worldwide. And more importantly, the people that represent Nike are worldwide icons. LeBron James, Serena Williams, Colin Kaepernick, some other people that I can't even pronounce that play soccer. They play football,
rugby, tennis.
I mean, golf, Tiger Woods. Think of all the people that are associated with Nike, and think about if you really hurting them by not wearing, buying, or burning the stuff that you already got. Really? Like you got a contract with the NFL that go to 2028. So you gonna stop watching football?
And then what the NBA does as well, right?
Right.
And then is there maybe soccer?
There's some soccer teams, I'm sure. Some colleges.
Yeah.
Some colleges got Under Armour. Some colleges got Adidas. Some colleges got Nike. That contract ain't going nowhere. And I'm not trying to speak on Nike's wealth or how they make their money because that ain't got nothing to do with me. But understand this. One of our given freedoms is a freedom of expression, a freedom of speech. You can express yourself however you want to, but please, if you're going to do that, take your shoes off first and then burn them. You done blistered all your fucking toes. Now you're on the internet forever like a damn idiot.
Blistered toe, bubbly feet.
Old bubbly foot ass.
nigga.
Old bubbly foot ass motherfucker. Because you done burnt your damn shoes on while they on your feet. You done burnt your shoes while they on your feet. And then you want some sympathy. No, dumbass.
Yeah, you're medical.
First of all, your insurance shouldn't cover this shit. They should just be like, you know what, you were stupid. Secondly, if you're going to do something like that, if you're not going to wear Nike anymore, it's thousands of people in this country that can use that shit. And I'm not calling Nike shit. What I'm saying is, it's people that are homeless. It's people that are less fortunate. It's people that are in need of some things that you could give them instead of cutting the swoosh off and messing up a pair of shorts or a sweatshirt or a pair of shoes. Donate to the charity. Donate to charity. Somebody else can get that. That might be the sweatshirt or the shorts or the shoes that get them to a job interview.
Yeah.
Or get them through the winter. Or get them feeling good about themselves. They got something now on that they didn't have before. You know how a semi-used piece of clothing can affect somebody's life. This on another subject. That's why everybody should purge. Once a year. Once a year, everybody should purge. If you haven't worn something in your closet for a year, and it's sat in the same spot for a whole damn year and you haven't worn it, get rid of it. It's just taking up space. You're holding on to it because you think you're going to wear it again. A famous phrase of some females that I know. I'm going to wear that. When? If you're not using it, get rid of it.
When the special occasion hit.
Or when it come back in style. It might not never come back in style. But on the Nike thing, let's think about this. You mad about something that had nothing to do with the military to start out with. Or ever.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, the people that's protesting or that's fake mad or whatnot at this point, fake rage, they keep on using the military's agenda, right? So I know you're a big history buff. Can you please explain to the people? Because I know we said this in the past before of like, y'all don't realize that the military is paying the NFL.
They were that. And I heard Ford talking about this the other day. I think the military got out of it because it was just too much.
Yeah.
Too much controversy. I think that when you think about how it looks, because it hurts recruiting. Think about it. If people are patriotic, people link patriotism and the military together. You could be a patriotic person and never serve a day in the military. Never serve one day. It's people in the military that ain't patriotic. They need a damn job.
When you're running from colors.
I mean, hell, 7:59 and 48 seconds. You haul ass across the field to avoid the damn raising of the flag. And people are listening to this and be like, man, that's fucked up. It's the truth.
Yeah.
I seen it done.
Yeah.
I seen it at 8. And I seen it at whatever time they lower the flag on the Marine Corps installation. People be trying to dodge. I mean, and granted, the Marine Corps give you a 5-minute warning. So if you stand out there for 5 minutes and then you hear bump, 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 that's on you.
Yeah.
That's on you. You got time to like go to wherever you need to be at and be there. But like I said, there's people in the military that's not patriotic. They needed a job. They was trying to escape a certain situation. Now I ain't talking about like no illegal stuff. I'm talking about the current life situation was so bad that they needed something better. They felt like the military would give them some discipline and some focus.
Yeah.
So don't ever confuse patriotism with being in the military. The two don't go hand in hand. Because when bullets is whizzing past your damn head and bombs is going off, the last thing you're thinking about is the damn flag.
Yeah.
What you thinking about is I don't want to die. Honest to God. You thinking about I don't want to die.
Yeah.
You're thinking about your mom, your dad, your kids, some other shit. You are not thinking about America.
Yeah.
That is not on your mind.
Yeah.
So, and anybody that's been to a combat zone will tell you that they're not thinking about the flag. They thinking about what matters to them when they get back home.
Shit,
whatever that is.
Realistically, you think about your damn self. Yeah, I gotta survive.
Right.
Yeah.
So people want to say that it's a flag. They're disrespecting the flag. When a person in the military dies and they do the memorial, the upside down rifle, the boots, the dog tags.
Mm-hmm.
If you go and look at the shadow of it, it's all over the internet. You'll see the person that's in front of it on one knee kneeling.
Mm-hmm.
Why? He's saying whatever he got to say to his friend, his person that passed. So is kneeling a bad thing?
No.
Let's think about it like this. And I hate to bring him into the conversation, but I got to. Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow used to kneel before every game.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
And everybody never had a problem with it because he was kneeling because he didn't think that abortion was right. Okay.
Wow.
So he didn't like abortion.
Okay.
And he kneeled. And nobody said a word.
And he was a Christian.
It's super religious person. And
Yeah.
I'm not knocking that.
Yeah,
And I'm not
I'm
even
not-
knocking the stance he took.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can't have 6 in one hand and a half a dozen in the other and not see the inequality in it.
Oh, I like that.
You can't do it.
Yeah.
Because at first he was sitting. And everybody was like, oh, man, he's sitting down on the national anthem.
Well, the Green Beret dude was like, yo, what are you doing? Oh, the Red Beret.
Green Beret.
Yeah,
He was
okay,
like,
I
look, this is what you
apologize.
should do as a sign of respect.
Yeah.
He told him this is what you should do as a sign of respect. He said, okay, sounds good. I'm going to try this on for size. Does it? Oh, my goodness. He took a knee on a national anthem.
But he was doing it like weeks though. It wasn't like the first time.
Right.
Yeah.
Then we have a presidential campaign start, and a person gets up and says, well, if they don't respect the flag, fire them sons of bitches. Then you get all these people that believe that whatever comes out of certain people's mouths is right, and they just run away with it and take off like a damn bullet out of gun. The problem with that is when you start inciting people to think like you think, this is the same thing that Hitler did in the 30s before he started World War II at the end of 37, 38, and went into the 40s and caused the whole war to be at war.
Yeah.
He incited them by giving them something to focus on. That something to focus on was Jewish people and how they felt like they caused them so much hate and discontent. Well, the same thing they're doing now. Let's focus on Colin Kaepernick because you can't really say, well, is he black? That's a push, but he is.
Yeah.
But let's focus on the fact that he's disrespecting the flag. You know how many people have disrespected the flag around the world?
Yeah.
You gonna police the whole world? They done set that shit on fire.
And I think, quote me if I'm wrong. I may be wrong. I looked up like the order for the flag. I thought I saw you couldn't have flag on like clothing and stuff, like how Old Navy.
The flag by how it's written in, I want to say it's written in Congress somewhere. How it's the flag is supposed to be displayed.
Correct.
Not on clothing. Not in a disrespectful way. And when you destroy a flag, you tear it into shreds and set it on fire.
But the shit, the way that Old Navy be rocking be, that's disrespect all the way,
That
right?
shit's on bath towels. It's
Yeah.
on bandana. These motherfuckers riding on Harleys right now with a flag bandana on.
Yeah, so that's you in the military sense. You're
Desecrating the flag in
Yeah.
a sense. But as times change, people's views of what respect is changes. They feel like they respecting the flag by showing it. See, they don't know. Ain't nobody reading that damn stuff. Nobody.
yeah.
We're going to do this podcast. People going to hear this, and they still not going to go read it. I don't believe that. But like I always say, if you don't believe me, Google it.
Google is shit.
Google it. It's somewhere saying that you can't do this, this, and this. Again, if it's attached to the military, there's a rule that goes along with it. It's attached to the U.S. government, there's a rule that goes along with it. They don't just come out of the blue and say, well, the flag is this.
Yeah.
The problem that, like I said, I have with all of this is when you get people to not like a person or a company or an organization because of something that they perceive to be wrong. Because it's not wrong. There's no wrong. The problem is, like I tell people, and a lot of people don't understand this, the NFL is a private organization. Them
Well, dumb it down for those that don't know what that mean.
as a private company, NFL, a private non-profit company, because that's how they form themselves, they can tell their employees, who are the players, typically what to do. Now, can they infringe on their rights? In certain areas, yeah. They can tell them, like, you play football, don't go skydiving, don't go drive a race car, don't go do this. It's in your contract. Can they infringe on the expression of freedom? No. You can't tell me how to express my how I feel about something. You might fire me and say, well, you shouldn't have said that. Okay. But you can't tell me not to say it. That's illegal.
Yeah.
Now then you're telling me I don't have no freedom of speech. Now, guess who can do that? The military. For those people that's paying attention, I brought it back around. The military can do that because you representing not yourself anymore. You represent the U.S. government at that point, the United States military, whichever branch you're in. So the NFL, being a private organization owned by private individuals, can put certain limitations on what their players can and can't do. The problem was never with the players. It was never even with the protest of the flag. One person said he's disrespecting the flag by kneeling. And people took that shit and ran like their ass was on fire.
Yeah.
Like they set their Nikes on fire and their feet was hurting. That's what they did. It's astonishing how, and I don't even want to say this word, but how ignorance begets ignorance. Just because somebody says it does not make it right. And that's what a lot of people believe. Well, he said it got to be right. If we lived our life like that, boy, we would be in trouble.
Yeah.
Reverting back to what I said earlier about the smartphone. If you pay a cell phone bill every month, you got a smartphone, an iPhone, an Android, whatever, and you're not using it to educate yourself when somebody says something, I ain't saying get in an argument with them, but go find out for yourself and then rebut it and be like, hey, this is what it says here. Not on Wikipedia. I mean, this is what it says in the Library of Congress, or this is what it says in this book. It says this about this. But just because somebody says something does not mean that that is the right way to go. There's a lot of things about everything. I can say everything that I don't like. That don't mean I'm going to stand up and be like, you know what? I'm going to stop doing this. I'm going to stop doing that because somebody else said I don't like it either.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We all are given a mind to be able to think and educate ourselves. We're all given the same 24 hours in a day to make ourselves better. But a lot of people choose to be led around by their nose. And it's sad that in this day and age, in 2018, people are still getting led around by their nose, even with all of the equipment and technology and stuff that they have right in front of them. It was a picture on Facebook the other day. Trump was giving a speech, and I didn't listen to the speech. I just read a little caption at the bottom. Man removed from speech for not being enthusiastic enough. There's a guy behind him, a white guy. He was standing behind him with this look on his face like he didn't believe what he was saying. Well, they went and got him and moved him out, took him out because he was right, literally. If Trump was facing right off his right shoulder, and you could see his face and everything, he was just standing there with this crazy look on his face. And it was funny to me because it's like, okay, but
somebody looking through the bullshit.
Right. But the people that's looking at the speech from the other perspective of Trump supporters, they like, man, get him the hell up out of here. He making him look bad.
Yeah.
He should support our president in everything that he says. I'm not gonna sit here and tell a lie and be like, I agree with everything Barack Obama did just because he was black. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
But that's how people view our current president.
It's almost like a cult in a sense.
Man.
Cult-minded mentality.
Yeah.
In a sense. I was just watching. It was something about like cult people, like your Jim Jones. I forgot, but them cult leaders.
David Koresh.
Yeah, David Koresh and Charles
Manson
and things of that nature. And the way you're describing it is like
That's
you have all these believers, and it's like he's not a believer yet. Get him out of here until we break him down mentally and rebuild him again.
That's the dangerousness of this particular administration. It's dangerous when you can get people to follow you just based off what you say without no proof. That's dangerous.
Got people moving to Ghana.
Yeah. Jim Jones had people move to a whole different country to drink some Kool-Aid and die.
Yeah.
Based off the fact that they was gonna be special.
Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy.
This is how you start all kinds of other problems happening. This is how you start wars. This is how you start all the things that people don't want to talk about. This is how you start a race war. You divide. You try to divide them first. And he'd be like, well, if they ain't like us, then we're going to get rid of them. The problem is, this ain't 1940 no more.
Yeah.
This ain't 1920 no more. This ain't 1900 no more. Everybody has the option of protecting themselves. And if they don't, that's on them.
Yeah.
But for me and mine, I'm protecting mine. And my wife says you shouldn't say that, but I'm telling the truth. You can say what you want to out your mouth. Just don't touch me.
Yeah.
Don't threaten me. Don't come to my house with no bullshit because I put my time in. And I'm not saying I was the best Marine there ever was. I will never claim that because I was not. I'll be the first one to admit that. But I put my time in.
Yeah.
So, kick rocks.
Yeah. Before we get into the next topic, AC wrote into us. He said, for the whole Nike and Kapernick situation, he said, personally, I think it was a good look for Cap and Nike. No matter the reason behind Nike's decision to use him, whether it be strictly a good marketing tool or because they actually support the movement, this shines an even brighter light on how big a problem racism and white privilege are a thing. To actually burn items you purchase with your own money to display anger for a company supporting an injustice movement shows exactly who you are, a racist. if this got you to burn your Nikes because it means so much, then I have my phone on record because the Catholic Church just has to be on the next burn list. I mean, if standing against injustice, right? He said burn list, Catholic Church, juke joints. I don't know what juke joints means. Popeyes, unemployment lines. The list goes on.
Right. What he's saying is basically this: if you have a problem with this, and you don't have a problem with the Catholic Church, where your priorities lie.
Yeah.
They have done they did a thing in Philadelphia. They just busted the whole diocese for covering up shit from like 40 or 50 years. They've been covering up little boys getting raped. Covering it up. Not saying that, well, we'll look into it. They knew it happened and they covered the shit up.
Yeah, swap it under the rug.
Right. This
like,
shit
you see that lump under that rug?
That's all the little boys that got raped.
Yeah.
That's all their souls and their spirits under that rug. This shit that made it all the way to the Vatican. All the way to the Pope. That's how big a deal it is. And you think people stop going to church? You want to bet how many people didn't go to church this morning, the Catholic Church? People still went.
Yeah.
Because it's okay. Long as we don't know about it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, choose to not know. Well, choose to know about it. Choose to not know about it. Is that what I'm trying to know?
No. It's okay long as we don't know about it.
Well, you doing the hand, so.
Because I'm doing a hand because it's okay long as we don't know about it. Everybody know about it.
Yeah.
We don't know about it.
Yeah.
They don't want to know. It's just like, I'll give you a prime example.
Well, they choose not to acknowledge. That's what I meant. Yeah, not choose not to know, choose not to acknowledge.
They're not going to do either one. They're going to act like they don't know. And if they do find out, they're going to act like they're not going to acknowledge it. I'll give you a prime example. Before they came out with this law that all child molesters had to register as sex offenders and you couldn't live within so many feet of a school and all these other things, people knew who the fucking perverts were in their neighborhood. Everybody knew. People just don't want to get involved in shit that don't involve them.
Until it involves them.
Right. Until it affects them personally. People like to stay in their damn lane until it affects them personally. I often refer to people as I refer to cows. And I'm not calling people cows.
Bitch,
what I'm saying is,
bitch, I'm a cow.
When one lead cow walks, all the rest of the cows walk right behind it. That's how a lot of people live their life. As long as it don't affect me, I'm going to follow this cow in front of me.
Yeah.
Just like black people in running. That one black person take off running. We ain't going to know why we running. We ain't going to know what we running from. We're just going to be fucking running until we stop. I mean, shit, it's the truth. We are not that inquisitive. We don't want to know what the fuck is going on. We're not going to walk back over there like Bob and be like, oh gosh, guys, I'm going to go over here and find out what's going on and I'll be right back with you. That ain't what we doing.
Yeah.
We ain't doing that shit. We don't care what's going on. Tell me about it on Facebook. Snapchat that shit to me later on.
Yeah.
'Cause I don't want to know. So.
That's crazy. All right. Interesting. So, I know this comes in your expertise, especially because what's your degree in again?
Emergency management and homeland security.
No, I don't know if it goes in. Maybe you could tie it in.
Believe me, it's all.
It does?
It's all the same.
Okay. So with our next topic, that's what I mean that we're about to go into, the whole Dallas thing. It goes into your...
Man, let me...
You want to lead it?
Man.
So next topic at hand, for those that don't know, it was a shooting in Dallas. So from my understanding, I really didn't read into it. Normally this is Jones' expertise. came at a
Man.
Now, it didn't come at a right time because condolences to that man's family. But as far as storytelling and when the time this podcast is coming out is very fresh. So I guess female police officer went into what she proclaimed to be, well, she thought that was her house and she thought it was an intruder and she shot the man. So my first question is, with your knowledgeable self, I thought that, it was not a question, but I thought that as police officers that they had to check their weapons back in. I thought they couldn't take their weapons back home.
No. Police officers off military installations carry their gun all the time.
Oh, okay. So military installations, they gotta put them back, but
because it's something called posse comitatus, which means you can't use the military to enforce against civilians. So if something happens, that's why they got the National Guard. The National Guard's not considered a branch of the military. That's ran by the governor. Just a side note. They couldn't call the Marine Corps and be like, hey, go to wherever and start enforcing laws. You can't do that. That's illegal.
Got it.
Can't do that.
You can't have active military personnel roaming the streets.
Right. You can use the National Guard in times of emergencies, floods, hurricanes, wildfires, shit like that.
But that's more like environmental. That's not.
No, but even in extreme like riots, you can use the National Guard.
Oh, they get down like that?
Yes.
I didn't know they train like that. Shout out to
I
the
ain't
National
gonna say they train like that, but I'm just gonna say you can use them. I don't know what their training consists of.
Yeah.
But it is the Army National Guard, so they do have to go to at least a basic training somewhere and do some kind of training. Then they follow on training at their unit. But this police officer, now I'm not gonna say her name because I'm not gonna give her that much shine. Everybody know her name. She all over the internet already. They blowing her up like damn popcorn. But she went home on Thursday night to what she thought was her apartment. This is what the story is saying. She thought this was her apartment. This apartment apparently does not have keys. They have key fobs. If you have a newer car or you have a training device or something that uses a key fob, you know exactly what it is. You wave it in front of the door, and it unlocks it.
Oh,
you place it on a pad, and it unlocks the door.
I like that shit.
Okay. Well, she did this in front of this particular door, and it flashed red. What the hell does red mean? Everybody that got a goddamn driver's license don't red mean stop. She did it again. It flashed red again. Apparently, according to sources, and they not saying who, but it's a couple of times, and it was red. The reason why this guy got shot is because he got up when he heard the commotion outside his door, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. When he opened the door, she made the assumption that in her mind, this is my apartment. What the hell you doing in it? And shot him. That's the story that they're telling in the media. That's the story that the Dallas Police Department is telling. That's the story that they're telling everybody. Now I'm gonna give you the unabridged Henry Jones version of the story.
Let's hear it.
These two people was in a relationship. Whether they was in a relationship yesterday or the day before they got shot, or 2 weeks ago, or 2 months ago, or 6 months ago, they was in a relationship some kind of way. They knew each other some kind of damn way.
Fucking.
Exactly. The relationship ended.
Yeah.
And she was like, there ain't no way in hell you leaving me with all this. You ain't leaving all this fineness. You ain't no way you leaving all this.
Yeah.
I'm too good to be let go.
I ain't letting that dick go.
Whatever the case may be. I'm not going to go that far. I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this. They know each other beyond the fact that she thought she was in her apartment. The problem I have with it is this. Even if he was in the wrong apartment, you did not have to pull your gun out and shoot him. What threat did he present to you? There's certain things you got to do before you use deadly force.
Yeah, we discussed this. What is the correct word for it?
It's prerequisites that you have to use.
Escalation of force.
Right.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, it's when you're called, well, particularly when you called on the scene, you always have to go one above, right?
No, what you have to do is assess, and then it can go from all the way down to at 5, all the way up to 1 in like a split second. But you can't do that until you figure out what's going on. It's based on what the call is from dispatch And when you get there, what you see as you're coming up, where you park your car, there's a whole lot of things that go into it. And it happens really. This is why it's so hard to. And I'm not judging her as to what she did, but this is why it's so hard to be a police officer in this country, because we have so many Monday morning quarterbacks. But in this particular instance, I'm about to quarterback the shit out of this. I'm about to Tom Brady this shit.
Go ahead.
Even if he was
Patriots and Falcons.
Even if he was in your apartment, when you pulled your gun out as a police officer, you could have had control of the situation.
Yeah.
Did he present a threat? Did he charge you? Did he do anything? Because you can't even shoot nobody in your house if you don't feel threatened. That's illegal as shit. You have to feel like your life is in danger or your family's life is in danger in order to shoot somebody in your own house. If they turn their back to run and you shoot them in the back, guess what you just did? At a minimum, it's second-degree murder.
Oh, shit.
They present no threat.
Oh, yeah, if they running not towards you.
Away from you.
Away. I want to clear that up.
They're trying to clear the area. They're not presenting a threat. Now, granted, that's all easy for us to say sitting here, because in real life, this shit happened in the blink of an eye.
Yeah.
If she thought she was right, she thought she was at the right apartment, hey, it's an unfortunate incident, but at the same time, it's another cop shooting another black man, and he wasn't even from here. He came from a whole other country.
Oh, shit.
Y'all killing the imports. Goddamn. Man, shit. He wasn't even born here. Came here, went to school. By all accounts, was a good person.
See, my thing is, when it comes to the human membrane, the psyche effect, everything with us, especially you could count to this, especially being on police force, is muscle memory, right? So to kind of mistaken your own apartment, to me, that's a reach. And it flashes red, like, come on, that's a reach.
Man, let me tell you.
Like, I know you ever been in, like, of course we can say this, ever been in Walmart and, like, you see somebody else that had the same car as you, but it's like, okay, you go up to it, and, like, I don't know, sometimes I get that feeling like, oh, shit, my bad, this ain't even my car. But the fact that you're trying to get in.
I used to have a green Honda Accord when I lived up in DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia, for those people that don't know. And that was a very, very popular car.
During that time frame.
Right. Man, I can't tell you how many times I walked to the damn wrong color, the wrong Honda.
What was it, 96?
No, it's like 2000 and fucking like 2002, 2003. You don't even think. You just see the color and you just start walking to it. You don't realize you put your key in the door or you try to open the door or some shit and the car don't start or whatever the case may be. It's the wrong, or you get close to it and be like, it's the wrong damn car.
The fact that you get in and it don't start, that's when it's too far.
Right. But when you see some shit in the backseat that you know, like, I keep my car pretty clean.
Yeah.
So if I see some shit in the backseat that ain't my shit, like,
on the passenger seat, you be like, all right, fuck.
Same thing for your apartment. Even if she was at the wrong apartment, when he opened the door, if you've been at work all day, how the fuck you get in your apartment?
Oh.
The apartment was up. They showed this video of this shit online. Somebody videoed this shit and put it online. So even if the apartment, you was at work all day and you came home from work, how did he get in your apartment? What is what reason would he have to be in your apartment? Like I said, they're gonna take her Facebook apart, her Snapchat, her Instagram, whatever social media she got. They're going to peel the onion back on that shit. And they're going to find out if these two people knew each other.
Well, it was a picture floating online
with
both of them.
I don't think that was her.
Oh, it wasn't? I don't know. I didn't really look.
She don't look, based on that picture I saw earlier, the picture they had floating online, they were saying that was her. I don't think that was her. But people people smart. They're going to go do their own research. So, because she's not, in this picture, she's not let me see. I don't want to say she's not a bad looking woman, but this picture doesn't do her any justice.
Nah, she ain't all that for me because I passed.
Yeah, I mean, she's not 30 years old. 4-year veteran of the Dallas Police Force assigned to the Southern Patrol District was identified Saturday by Dallas Police as the white officer who fatally shot Bottom in the Southside Flat apartment complex in Dallas around 10 p.m. local time. So, again, what I'm waiting for them to do now, as they always do in the media, is find some bad shit on this dude, like they love to do, and try to make him the problem. Which I would hope.
Shit, they said she shot somebody last year.
Yeah, on a call. That was on a call for service though.
You said what?
It was a call for service. They went to a call.
Oh,
I read the story.
Oh, so it was legit, like
Right.
Okay, so she was
in
good.
line of duty. They didn't find her at fault. None of that shit. So, but I mean, it's gonna be some interviews done with the people in the apartment complex. It's gonna be some interviews done with people she worked with that say this story is full of shit.
Hold on, I'm reading now. Guy, I can't even pronounce his name. Geiger.
I just call him Gene. His last name Gene.
Okay. Shot a black man after mistakenly entering his apartment at the complex where she also lived. Because I know it was rumored saying that neighbors was like, yo, get the fuck out here now. Like, come out here.
Right. See, and I can't go into any of that because I wasn't there. But like I said, when they do the interviews and they get to talking to everybody, all of it's going to come out. And the thing is this. They need to be very, very transparent with this investigation because if they're not, they're going to burn Dallas to the damn ground.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. Now, you know, as with all riots in any city, once they start getting close to the white shit, they shut that shit down. But, I mean, let's be honest. In Baltimore, you know, as soon as they started heading towards the harbor, they was like, hey, this is the line they will not cross. Tell me I'm lying. They shut that shit down. Yeah, and you can burn your shit all day.
Yeah.
You bring your ass up here on this block, we're going to have a problem. So, just like with any, they let you Watts in the 60s burn. You can burn Watts to the ground. We don't give a fuck about Watts. Compton, we don't care about Compton. We don't care about the south side of Chicago. You burn that shit to the ground. But as soon as you cross a certain line, a certain road,
medial line,
we gonna shut this shit down. No, there's no more riot. Keep that shit in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
So hopefully they find the truth of what happened with this guy because that got to be the worst way on earth to leave this earth.
Yeah, to go out,
in your own apartment, at home, 10 o'clock at night, you open the door because there's some commotion outside, trying to figure out what's going on, while somebody at your door, messing with your doorknob, whatever the case may be. And next thing you know, now you're dead.
Things like a love triangle?
I ain't gonna say it's a love triangle, but some kind of way, it was a relationship there somewhere.
Yeah.
And I think he might have ended the relationship thinking, you know, hey, this ain't working, whatever the case may be. I'm gonna do me and you do you, and she saw him with the new girl or found out they had a new girl or whatever the case may be, and all hell broke loose.
In that sense, she'd be hit with premeditated?
I don't know. It'd be hard to prove. It'd be hard to prove that. Unless she said something to somebody else. Like, I can't believe he broke up with me. I could just kill him. Then, now.
And that could just be a figure of expression.
Right. But you know, in this new day and age in court, all you gotta do is be able to, hey, she said it. So.
Yeah, that was her motive right there.
Right.
Damn. I mean, I don't have any other questions about that one. It's still fresh. It just, like you said, just sucks.
It's too fresh to speculate as to what they're gonna find out. But on another note, they did just convict the cop not too long ago. The kid that got shot in the car that was leaving the party, he got shot in the back of the head. The cop started firing. This happened last spring.
I ain't hear about that one.
That dude got 15 years. Damn. The cop. Damn. 15 years, like, damn, that's 15 years.
Yeah.
That's 15 years as a regular person. You'd be like, damn, 15 years. But 15 years as a cop? Shit.
It's going to be like...
And they know you a cop?
Oh, it's going to be like hell to him, huh? First day.
Man, that first week.
D-block.
First month. They put him in gym pop? Shit, he might not even make it. And I don't want that. I would wish nothing bad on nobody. But jail got a way of administering its own justice.
Yeah. Yeah, and,
that's the best way to say it.
I even heard within the jail system itself, like some in a certain sense,
they're tiers of criminals.
Yes, tiers of criminals, and like the prisoners kind of, in a sense, run the jail.
So if you're a pedophile, you're at the very bottom.
Yeah.
A rapist, you're at the very bottom. You hurt an old person or a kid, you're at the very bottom. And then it goes up from there.
And what I mean by that is because it's like sometimes the correctional officers will use the people in jail like, yo,
Yeah.
such and such. Hey,
You know, I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer went to jail. It's an old case. It's old.
that's
Jeffrey
the one
Dahmer
that was eating people, right?
right. Yeah, heads in his freezer and shit.
Shit.
But he went to jail. He was in jail for a minute. But then one day they found him. He was in the cell dead.
Damn.
Don't nobody know what happened. But again, jail has a way of administering its own justice because there's a line that even criminals have a line that they will not cross.
Yeah,
In
that's
certain
crazy.
instances. If you're a thief, you're a thief. You want to steal some shit, but you ain't gonna kill nobody.
There's no honor amongst thieves. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but this thing in Dallas, I hope that the Texas Rangers, Dallas Police Department, everybody that's involved looks at this thing with clear glasses on. Not with rose-colored glasses, not the fact that she was a cop, none of that.
Or
Look at it
not
with
the
clear
fact that she's a
glasses.
female because
Or she a female.
the woman movement is popping this year. Don't
Right.
get me wrong. Shout out to all my women.
None of that shit.
African American
But the
women.
fact that she did something that was wrong, even as a cop, it would be hard to justify that shit. But they have gotten off for similar things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't have nothing else. I know it's your B-Day. We got to get you out of here to get the dinner ready. Well, not get the dinner ready. Go out to dinner.
Yeah.
And spend time with the fam bam.
Yeah, go get my Rugrats. Find out what's going on in the world.
Do you got anything to pass?
Yeah, I got something to pass, man. This might be our last podcast.
You ain't free next week?
When?
You said next Saturday or Sunday.
Let me talk to the other half and find out. We
Yeah,
could probably
could-
do another one, yeah.
Because you said something about oxtails and all that shit.
Oh, yeah. Let me talk to her about that. Yeah. Let me holler at that. I got to get out my feelings first. Kiki, do you love me? Are you riding? I got to get my feelings first because I'm in my feelings right now about some other shit. But, and I won't ask for nothing. You know how it be sometimes.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But we coming down, we winding down to the end of the road, as Boys and Men would say.
Yeah.
You about to go into greener pastures or hopefully greener pastures.
Yeah. Next
You know?
career move. Hopefully we could talk. Yeah, I do actually want to talk about that. I want you and Ford about it. So
Hey,
I put my head up.
what about I don't know. I can never remember that girl's name. The drill instructor.
She about to dip out too.
When she
believe.
when she leaving?
Maybe the 24th.
I want to say she leaving in October. I want to say it's either the end of September. Or
Yeah. I don't know. I would have to reach out to Bailey to
Maybe we can make it like a group thing. We can get,
different branches of service in here. Yeah.
get the perspective. Like I said, I'll be talking to the other half to find out if she have issue with it. She don't have no issue with it. We can do like I said, next Sunday. And I should have my lawn furniture out back too. So
Oh, we do it outside.
right, I gotta put the fans up first though. Ain't nobody trying to be out there and be hot. Got a lot of work out there in podcast land, people. A lot of work.
Yeah. That's crazy.
So yeah.
Okay, yeah, we'll work that out. But I'll close this out so you can get situated and get your birthday dinner on deck. Like I want to say, happy B-Day once again.
Appreciate you.
Virgo season.
That's
full
right.
Of fat.
That's right.
But damn, what am I supposed to say? It's been so long. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Unpredictable Thoughts Podcast. Your man Trouble's in the building.
And your man Jones.
Peace.